Placemaking beautification committee made tremendous strides last year. Okay, we can't stop it. We have to keep going. And we want to start with the historic, celebratory historic downtown. It's not going to take much to get where we want to get to right now. We have to grow. Okay, we have to grow as a village. Okay, and right now our sidewalks are bare. Okay, they need shade trees. We have area in the village that this board is always talking about, like around the pond. Trustee Kalor, nice cherry blossoms. Okay, so you don't have to go all the way down to Washington, D.C. You could go right here in Washingtonville, and we'll put a monument in the back. Okay, something like this. Now, on Facebook, a lot of things have been happening with, wouldn't it be great if we had a painting on the side of the building? Okay, I'm sure you've seen them. I don't have any here. But instead of Wilbur Chocolate Company, we could also put Borden's Creamery on one of the buildings that were down there. Okay, we need to bring back the history that we let get away. All right, so we could understand it and move forward with planning. You know, we have a lot of things going on this next year. We have a new park. We have to take care of the existing parks that we have. Okay, a new park across the street from the middle school. We lost the lot, okay, across from where the lot was last year, so we have to replace it with something. Okay, because there was such a demand last year of people gathering. All right? We want places where people gather. Good people gather. Okay, and that's where we stand as a board. But I don't want, I know, I mentioned it before, Facebook was lighting up today, and it was interesting to see all of the postings. By no means do we want to knock down all these houses and put strip malls. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't want to knock down housing and put Best Buy. Okay? That's not what we're looking to do. Looking to keep the character that already exists, but enhance it. Okay? By having the walkability to the homes that are there. Now, one of the things, one of the concerns that I myself had was, if you're in a commercial business district, okay, and as you saw, it's the same thing as we have now. We just took away multiple dwellings. We took away garages for storage, so it's the same thing. We just changed the name, okay? Because right now, the banks that we have do not fit into our O&R district, correct? All right, so banks are not professional offices. Professional offices are the accounting firms, the doctors, the dentists.
That's what I meant on that
That's
slide,
there first.
other than office and dwelling, where does retail fall into that? Like, I didn't see any of that.
Well, commercial business. And we'll have a list probably of, well, right now we're deciding what businesses to have, but I think it's easier to decide what businesses we don't want.
How do you propose to stop that?
Yeah, this is America.
Because once
No. It's not about being America or being, okay, we don't want a massage parlor in the middle of the village.
Business can't exist. That's like.
We don't want a massage parlor in the middle of the village.
Exactly.
How do you
Not
stop
next door
it?
to me.
Would you like a
Not
strip
supposed to
club
be there.
downtown?
What's that?
I have it next
Would you
door to
like a
me and it's
strip
not
club
supposed to be
downtown?
there.
You know what?
Massage
Again,
therapist, and that was never ever fixed.
this is America. If they can afford those rents, and it is a medical resort, whatever, it's entitled to be.
Well, then we still go to, you still have to go to the proper boards, the zoning board,
Yes,
okay, and the planning board.
but to sit there and say, we don't want this business, and I've lived here when they had them protesting because they wanted to put in, what was it that time?
A Burger
A video
King.
store that had
Video store.
X-rated movies.
There was a Burger King too that went in, no one wanted. I remember that one,
So,
okay?
We
And
now
everyone
have
here
tattoo
had a
parlor
hamburger.
that's come and gone. We have vape shops coming and going.
But why? See,
Yes.
everybody, I'm a private business, so I try not to, I lived here for 20 years, and I listen, and I see the Facebook, and I know a lot of people, most of you here. And my wife always tells me, Dick, be quiet, because I have a beginning and an end. And this is the first time. I'm gonna ask you, I hear everybody complaining, everybody questioning, everybody throwing the rock, but no one has the solution. You're complaining about this, but why? Why are businesses coming in here and leaving? Why is Coco Pelli's, a cookie company what everybody loves, is leaving? Why did Burger King leave?
Because
Why
of
did
grants.
the lady with the hot dog leave?
Rent. That's not
And there
true.
wasn't enough traffic in town.
Thank you,
It's
okay?
rents.
And this is, people told me, you know what, and open a can of worms. Everybody's telling me, go by, the restaurant, Napoli's. Go in there, Nick, do it, come on, I'm in the food business. And I tell them, no. Everybody has suggestions, everybody has great ideas. It happens, and people have to leave or close it.
I'll be honest with you, I don't go through town. It's too congested as it is. And I live right on 94 and I don't go through
And I'm
town.
gonna go a little off base with you. There was a young, you know, coming down, from Stewart's, I live on Bulls Road. Turning into Main Street, and then you turn into, going to Bulls Road. I cannot tell you how many times, with my kids in the car, because they play softball, I got the finger,
Yeah.
I got the FU,
Well, that's why.
and there was a lady today, she went a little too close for the light, and there's one guy almost hit me and the lady, and he cursed at us. But again, that's off base. This place, everybody has ideas, but they do not follow through. And my next question is, and I remember when this board came on, and Mr. Corey, he worked for Pyramid. And I remember very well, you said you were gonna look into why Stop and Shop looks like, well, thank you. And how come there's high rent there? And how come there's about 5 or 6 buildings empty still? But nobody addressed it yet. Meanwhile, they're building homes, 50 units behind my neighborhood, by the softball park, and I'm concerned, because we have bad traffic, we have drug dealers around the neighborhood, which are still there, and I know it. We're trying to do placemaking, man, and I appreciate all that, but we need to follow up on what's here now, not try to build it up, because there's no means.
Well, if, with
Sorry.
what was, no, I appreciate it, Nick. What was presented tonight was not building anything, just taking what we have and enhancing the aesthetics. That's what we were doing. It's a point that you brought up, which I would ask you to come back to our work session and address those concerns that you have with the homes behind you.
Yeah, I've been around, and actually, with all respect, I have to agree with one thing with the man. I've been to most, all those places, not most of them, I've been all over the United States. And these little historic towns, we need that here, because I come in after 9 o'clock in Washingtonville, it's dead. There's no lighting, there's no presentation, even if it is a tattoo parlor. We need to show this is who we are. I tell people I live in Washingtonville, where? Oh yeah, I passed by that place. No, nobody stops here, I mean, percentage. Or, I used to live in Washingtonville, and now I live there.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
You're right, there's no perfect solution. I don't have it, I don't think anybody in this room, whether elected or not, has an answer or perfect solution. The Village of Monticello spent over $300,000 to redo their downtown, and yes, they did receive federal grants for that. Clarkstown, same thing, did it all to create lighting and walking paths and everything. It has not increased or decreased the vacancy rate for commercial. So is that really the answer?
But Clarkstown, because I do festivals down there, look what they do. Nyack, I mean, they do big festivals, which I'm doing 3 of them. 3 festivals they're having. They're doing Nyack Festival. They have so many things to bring in revenue.
Well, so does Pearl River. Pearl River has.
Pearl River. But what do we do here? We can't even support it, and when I first started the farmer's market with someone, it couldn't even uphold its own, the farmer's market, we couldn't even get a farmer here. Then we got the negative publicity. No one wants to step here and say, let's go support Washingtonville and their farmer's market, because of all the bad publicity.
What bad publicity? That is very untrue. We have a very vibrant farmer's market that's starting up
Hold
this
on,
year.
hold on. This is in the past, before you, so slow down.
Okay, but
Slow
you're
down.
making it seem like it's present.
Slow down. Well, it's still, I myself, when you guys started it, went to many vendors to ask them to come and support Washington Farmers Market. You know what they told me? Oh, I remember what happened the last time. I'm not gonna.
So I guess the biggest question is, what kind of tax levy would it cost us as the residents to make these changes? Because it all comes down to the bottom line.
What was your taxes this year? Because they were decreased. You live
No,
in the
they were
village.
not.
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
The taxes were decreased.
I pay as much in village taxes as I do in town taxes.
Okay, look at your bill from last year,
Went down.
okay? They went down.
And they went up 25% 3
No,
years ago.
we gotta stop
so-
thinking about, you know what, and we attacked the Germans back then too. Okay, so let's stop thinking about what happened 10 years ago. It didn't happen here. Okay, so I think we need to separate the past and move forward. Understand the past, understand the history, to make sure it doesn't happen again. But please don't say that your taxes did not decrease.
I'll double
Because
check it,
they
and
did.
if it is, it's not significant enough.
You see,
to
but
make
it
a
doesn't
difference.
matter. It doesn't matter how much they
They
went
didn't
down.
go up. They didn't go up.
They didn't go up.
So
They didn't stay the same, they went down.
And we got
Okay?
more.
So if your taxes went down $20, go to Brother Bruno's and buy a pizza and a soda. There you go, it's a meal.
I don't eat pizza, so.
Okay, so I don't know what, I'm not gonna
I'm
get
just,
into
I wanna
diets.
know, what
Okay.
you're proposing, what is it going to cost me?
Why would it
That's my
cost
bottom
anything?
line.
Why would it cost anything?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out, what is it going to
It's
cost?
not gonna cost anything.
There's a cost associated with everything, so if you want to do this beautification project, who's gonna pay for it?
The
Who's paying for the
beautification
streetlights?
within the village,
Yeah, who's paying for new streetlights? Who's going to pay for that?
it's on the sidewalk, we have lights.
But you're
We
saying you
have to
want to
put trees
create
in.
this, kitschy kind of mood, who is going to pay for the changes that you want to affect?
If there's a restaurant in town, I'm gonna let you know right now that the village board is not gonna buy tables for them. The restaurant's gonna buy tables for them. Okay? That's how it works. We're not spending money, we're not spending your money to invest in the business. We're not in the business to own a business.
We're trying to attract that
Okay.
aesthetic is what we're trying
Well,
to
that's what I'm saying, so right now, we pay DPW to go and water the plants downtown that are in front of businesses, maybe not yours, but the different plants, that's a cost to us.
do. No, not all of them. Beautification took care of it, store owners.
Would you, now we have somebody who's gonna work on signs.
Yes, see,
Harry, raise your hand, you're the sign manager. Would you like to water the plants? Well, we don't put them. That, we don't put them.
I'm just saying, there's a cost associated with everything, nothing is free.
And what he's saying is that it's cost neutral at this point.
Right.
Your taxes, you have, cost of living goes up, your taxes have to go up. They should have gone up a long time ago, and they didn't raise them, they should go up like a couple percent every year.
No more than 2 to 3%.
They have to, otherwise you're gonna, in the end, you're gonna pay for it like you did the time it went up 25%. They have to keep going up. I even said to him, I says, the taxes went down, I don't know, they should be going up a little bit.
Well, and we had that debate.
But because
Okay.
you have your police, you have, that's your biggest, what is the police, half of the budget? Half the budget.
It's not that.
Then you have all these police officers retiring, you have to pay for the retirement,
And I
you
get
have
all
to
that,
pay for
listen,
it. It's gonna keep going up.
I'm not a
It's not
knave,
gonna go
I'm just
down.
trying to figure out, you wanna make change, I'm not saying I'm against the change, I wanna know what it's going to cost.
I
Changes are
think,
making it very small because of the other expenses you have. The
I don't think we could afford not to make change. We can't go status quo anymore. It doesn't work. It never did work. It never will work. okay? We have to make change. On DPW, let's go with the taxes. This village board adopted a budget that lowered taxes while your services increased.
It makes it harder and harder.
Your services increased. And that's what we're all about, okay? We pay taxes too.
I get that.
I don't wanna pay any tax. I don't wanna pay tax to the town, I don't wanna pay tax to, which is another story. I don't wanna pay to the county, I don't wanna pay to the state, I don't wanna pay to the federal government. I don't wanna pay any tax. But we have to.
Right.
But your taxes, okay, it's a little personal, okay, that your taxes didn't go down. Please show me your tax bill, and you're going to see that they did.
Listen, like I said, I have no problem going back and checking.
Please, okay?
I just wanna know what this is gonna do.
Yes, Nancy?
I just kind of wanted to circle back to something Nick brought up, the point about businesses, in the existing environment, businesses have been leaving, have struggled over a period of time. And a couple of voices said perhaps it was the rent, other voices said it's not rent. Can we kind of go along that line and we'll